Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
Water parks are places of fun and recreation for the family until tragedy strikes in one of their water slides. Huge accidents have resulted in slides getting banned and sometimes even dismantled. Today we will be looking at 10 most insane banned water slides you can't go to anymore. Number 1 is something special, and it was deemed too dangerous that it was closed only a month after opening. Stay tuned for that. Number 10. Steamer Waterslide, Ottawa. Slammed with over 20 charges of safety violations in 2015, the steamer slide at Calypso Water Park, Canada, is considered one of the most dangerous slides in the entire world. You would think that Canada is just the more sensible form of the USA. That is true, but not most of the time. Steamer riders sit in tubes and then circle a giant funnel before washing into an exit slide. It sounds fun if your inner tube doesn't flip over before you get to the exit. The park was accused of failing to report injuries on the steamer to the regulatory body in charge of keeping Ottawa's amusement parks in line. Ultimately, the park was hit with 20 safety violation charges, out of which 14 were directly related to 3 separate incidents that occurred on the steamer in 2011. Calypso accepted responsibility graciously. Oh, we're just kidding. No, they didn't. In fact, they even tried to blame a safety inspector for one of the ride's problems. Don't worry though, because the steamer didn't close. If you enjoy a good spinal injury, there's plenty of room for you in line. Number 9. Shoot the Rapids, Ohio. Cedar Point Water Park in Sandusky, Ohio. It's called the best amusement park in the world. Yes, even better than Disneyland, trust me, I know. But even the best isn't safe from dangerous accidents. In July 2013, something on a very famous ride there, Shoot the Rapids, went horribly wrong. People were sitting on a boat ready to have the time of their life, but it would soon turn into the worst time they'd ever had. The boat suddenly rolled backwards 187 feet down the lift track, hit the edge of the concrete flume, hit another boat, and then flipped over. Riders were belted in and trapped upside down in the water. And it was probably only the quick action of park employees and bystanders that kept the incident from turning more tragic. The accident happened because 2 of the ride's safety features failed. One that was designed to keep the boats from sliding backwards, and the other was supposed to keep the boats on track. Aren't those the 2 critical things needed to, run this ride? No? Anyway, this ride wasn't officially shut down until 2016, and most Cedar Point fans were happy to see it go down in flames. Well, okay, not literal flames, but you get our point. Number 8. Aquasphere, Australia. Some water slides in Australia are so dangerous that parents can bond while watching their children receive treatment for the water slide related injuries in hospitals. When we say Australia is built differently, we mean this. We are talking about the Aquasphere, a water park in Australia linked to just so many injuries, including 2 adults hitting their heads inside a slide's tunnel and suffering head injuries. The slide was shut down for 10 months, but just days after the reopening, there was another accident. This time, a woman experienced severe back pain after riding the Aquasphere. You think they'd stop after a woman was hurt, but you would be wrong. On another occasion, a boy fell off the tube inside Aquasphere and was battered around the inside the ride before he was ejected. He lost consciousness after 20 minutes. Even the employee who tested the slide suffered minor injuries. The authorities thought they'd fix the problems, but oops, guess not. The good news is the Aquaslide has since been dismantled and completely rebuilt now. Number 7. Black Hole Waterslide, Orlando. The Wet n Wild Park in Orlando is no more, but there was a ride that everyone remembers. Many of the park's troubles revolved around a ride called the Black Hole. The ride injured one man in 1994 so badly that he sued the park and actually won. Not just a few $1,000s, but a hefty amount of $1.73 million. The man said he was struck by something in the dark, and when he arrived at the bottom of the slide, he couldn't move his legs. Doctors had to insert a titanium plate into his neck. The park pleaded ignorance, which doesn't seem like an awesome defense. but by now we know parks aren't the best of apologizers. During the trial, some employees testified that rafts were constantly getting struck and that attendants would send a new raft into the ride before the first one was confirmed to have exited. That was probably the black hole's worst injury, and all this happened mainly in the dark, which must have made it much more dangerous. But again, it's a black hole. If something is going to happen to you, it's gonna happen in the dark. We are just glad the whole park is closed now. Number 6. Brain Drain, Florida. Brain Drain is the best thrill ride at Rapids Water Park. It featured two 70-foot-high enclosed flume water slides. Each slide is uniquely designed with different slide patterns, but it's simultaneously launched at the same time. Riders enter a launching capsule and stand on a trap door and feel the adrenaline rush as the floor suddenly drops beneath them and they free fall. You can imagine just by that how dangerous it is, but with the danger of free fall comes a thrill too, which is unprecedented. Riders instantly accelerate to top speeds of up to 35 miles per hour through the near vertical chute as they plummet straight down before spiraling through a loop. No ride is perfect. Riders have claimed that the ride starts before they get a chance to be ready, and that results in injuries. Hey, no one wants to be swallowed by the surface unexpectedly, right? Ride restrictions on this slide are 4 feet minimum and a 300-pound weight limit. Like, that will stop people from getting hurt. Number 5. Cannonball Waterslide, New Jersey. Action Park's dubiously safe rides were responsible for countless scrapes and bruises and at least 6 fatalities. But there was one slide that was too dangerous even for this park. We are referring to the infamous gravity-defying Cannonball Loop. This water slide flipped the laws of physics so badly that it was open for a single summer and then abandoned like a drainage pipe. And the craziest part? The few people who actually went on this slide were the Action Park employees who were given $100 just for trying this slide. In Action Park's defense though, they did send dummies down the thing first, but we are not sure if they made it back to the ground in one piece. Number 4. Yulong Xinyin Water Wave Pool, China. Even though this isn't a slide, we feel like you need to know about this pool. Yulong Zhuyin Water Wave Pool in Longjin, China is so dangerous that it made headlines in July 30th of 2019 when a wave machine malfunctioned. The malfunction caused a massive tsunami-type wave across the pool, crashing over everyone in its path. The wave was around 9 feet high and the pool was full of people. Some people landed violently on the pavement that surrounds the pool. A total of 44 people were injured in the catastrophe. People were rushed to nearby hospitals where it was discovered that several people had broken their ribs. The incident was so catastrophic that footage from the rogue wave quickly went viral. The incident was caused by a power cut in the tsunami control room. The power cut affected the electronic equipment that controls the waves, allowing the waves to become far too big. The pool was closed for inspection for 5 months. If that's how big waves can get accidentally, would you still want to go there for a dip? We definitely would not. Number 3. Insano, Brazil. This is the stomach-churning water slide that holds the record for being the world's tallest slide, towering over the landscape at a whopping 41 meters high. It is the equivalent of a 14-story building. Insano has been in the Guinness Book of World Records, and brave riders plummet down the slide at a nerve-shredding speed, reaching around 65 miles an hour. The plunge is so steep that although riders travel 41 meters, the whole ride takes just 4 to 5 seconds. The Brazilian Beach Park website describes the Insano as the most extreme equipment of its type on the planet. It is so extreme that even though it hasn't caused any reported injuries, the slide was closed for months due to inspections to make sure the slide was regulated and safe for riders. Insano only allows travel in a single position for safety reasons, on your back with arms and legs crossed. However, it is hard to imagine this would be a problem for most with such hair-raising speeds, as it is unlikely many would want to plunge down head first. Number 2. Verunkt Water Slide, Kansas City. The most tragic accident related to a water slide is associated with this monstrosity. In a rush to build the world's tallest water slide, the operators of a Kansas park ignored that the nearly 170-foot-tall ride had major design flaws, skirted basic engineering standards, and sent riders airborne in a way that could injure or kill them. We are not exaggerating at all. Those events have occurred on this slide. Verunkt was opened in July of 2014, only 20 months from its conception to the grand opening. The worst tragedy occurred when at least 14 riders were injured on the slide in a string of accidents in 2016. One of which included a 10-year-old boy who was tossed off the raft and decapitated when he hit a metal pole. The authorities said top Schlitterbahn officials knew that the slide posed serious dangers for riders, so much so that company officials feared for their own safety when they went on it. Caleb's family did get a $20 million settlement from the park and some of the companies involved in the design, but it's pretty hard to put a price on the loss of a child, particularly in such a horrific way. Fortunately, Verunkt was permanently shut down and dismantled in 2018 after 2 years of looming over the park as a horrible monument to one of the worst tragedies in water park history. Number 1. Cannonball Drop, New Jersey. And to complete our list, we have another slide from Action Park that will make your jaw drop at the absurdity. You just know that a slide named that won't stand for too long. Action Park, where the slide was located, is so notorious that history says it was shut down in 1996, after a total of 6 deaths and so many injuries that no one seems to be able to actually count them. Action Park didn't stay closed though. It reopened in 2010. One of the more notorious Action Park rides was called Cannonball Falls, and it featured a 10-foot drop into a mountain pool, with 6 injuries during the 2015 season alone. The state was filled with dangerous water slides, so you can imagine how bad it was. Cannonball Falls was permanently closed a few weeks before the end of the 2015 season. But that isn't all for Action Park. Would you ever want to ride any of these water slides? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video.